Thank you, and enjoy your day here at SeaWorld. SeaWorld está comprometido con la salud y seguridad de todos nuestros invitados.
Good morning, Mike.
Hello from sunny SeaWorld San Diego here in Southern California on reopening day, first day open in 2021. Although it is very limited what you can come and do at SeaWorld because none of the indoor exhibits are open and none of the rides are open. So it's just the outdoor stuff only at SeaWorld and no rides. But
That's
we're
right.
going to walk around.
Cool. And again, everybody, we are live. Feel free to comment, ask questions. We'll do our best what we can to answer them. Remember, sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned whenever we go live at the parks like this. Now, Mike, you were just here, like a week or two ago, driving through these paths.
Yeah, for this advertised right in front of me here.
Okay.
It's called Sesame Street Parade of Lights. And it's still running through the end of February. And I thought it was really neat because not often do you get to drive your own car through a theme park.
Yeah.
So we actually drove through this tunnel of lights over here and around the path here. It's like a winding path that goes through the whole park, and it's got along the way they've got all these floats with all the Sesame Street characters waving at you and stuff, and it was really fun. I recommend it, actually. I wasn't sure what to expect. It was a long drive to come down here from LA, and then we drove through. It took 20 minutes, the whole experience, and then we were done. And then we just left and drove back for another 2 hours. So it was
Did you tell me you stopped for dinner somewhere down there too?
No, well, we just went right back home. So I don't recommend that necessarily, but if you're here already or if you're coming down for another reason to San Diego, it's a good thing to check out while it's still happening.
Yeah, a lot of people. I was gonna say a lot of people don't realize San Diego's 2 hours away ish from LA. So
yes, but if you're in Orange County where Disneyland is, it's only an hour and change, so not as bad.
Lori wants to say hi, Mike.
Hello, Lori Jean. I just wanted to show you these switchback queues that they have in place. These are new since the last time we were here for the touch tank area here by the entrance.
What's in the touch tank?
I think they're small sharks and starfish and stuff like that.
Nice.
But that's fun. And then we're gonna head this way and go.
I thought that was like a turnstile or something, but you're already past those, obviously.
Yes, the entrance to the park is right over there.
Okay.
So we came in through there, and we're gonna take a right into Tomorrowland first.
Does this SeaWorld have the hub and spoke design?
It kind of does. Yeah, it has this central area.
I am more versed with Orlando SeaWorld, and there is no rhyme or reason to the layout of that park.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. Here's the directional.
Hi, Tammy.
guide. Hello, Tammy Bowman. So here's the directions we would go to all the different attractions. We'll head this way first.
Daisy wants to know if there's any rides open.
No.
They're currently under as a zoo, right?
Yeah, so they opened as a zoo, which means it's only outdoor exhibits right now. No rides and no indoor exhibits are available. So we're just going to be walking around looking at the outdoor stuff. And if you came here, you would have to do the same.
Yeah.
There are shows which we're not going to do it during the live stream, but you can go watch the Orca show or the dolphin show, I think, and one or two others.
Do you plan on watching the shows when we're not doing the live stream?
We may. We've seen them recently. We saw them in the fall, so I don't know if we need to watch them again, but we may. My wife wants to see they do feedings. They do turtle feedings and
okay,
a penguin feeding she wants to see. So a couple years ago, probably 3 years ago, I came to the grand opening of this area, which I'm blanking on the name of the area right now, but it included this ride, this like elevated track up here.
Uh-huh.
It's like a submarine ride.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh, I know what that was called, because it closed shortly after, right?
Yeah, I think I was one of probably like 100 people, maybe a little bit more, that ever went on this ride and shot a video of it for a competing website. But it was a notoriously unreliable attraction and wasn't that great to begin with. But yeah, the track is just sitting here rotting like the People Mover now.
SeaWorld Submarine Quest?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep.
That sounds right.
Yeah. 2017 is when it said it opened and closed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then they did get a swing attraction out of it.
What is I saw a sign that said Octa Rock. Is that another attraction?
Octa Rock.
It was like to your right now.
Oh yeah. Let's see. That's just another little kiddie ride.
Okay. I don't know if that was another show or something.
Yeah, let's take a look. It's just another kind of swing. I forget what you would call this. Kind of a carnival type ride.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Octo Rock. Explorers Cafe. It's something about a reef, I think, is the name of the area.
Probably Explorers Reef. That sounds
Explorers
right.
Reef, yeah, I think that's right. It's nice. The theming is nice.
So,
I like the colors.
Am I seeing this right? Up on the elevated track for the submarine ride, just like the People Mover tracks at Disneyland, they've installed lighting for events.
Yeah, they used it as the place to put the lights, just like the People Mover. Exactly, yeah.
Tammy says she hasn't been there since the 90s.
And there's a crab and octopus viewing inside this Discovery Pod, but that is closed off right now as well because it's inside.
It's indoors, yes.
Yeah. But you can look through these tanks over here. There's a moray eel in here. Let's see if we can see it.
Now, do you think that when people are allowed back in the indoor exhibits, the animal behavior might have changed a little bit because they're not used to seeing humans on the regular?
Maybe. Look at this. Look at this eel.
Oh, yeah, wow. I see an eel and I see Mike. And the eel thinks you're waving at him.
Wow. That's
cool.
A pretty good animal sighting right there. Right
yeah, I haven't seen an eel that active in a long time either. The ones at the SeaWorld here just kind of poke their head out and then go back in.
That's pretty good.
Jennifer Meyer has never been here.
Never been there. I like this SeaWorld. There's parts of this SeaWorld that give me a lot of nostalgia for like the 80s because you can tell that some of the aquarium sections were built several decades ago and they haven't really updated them, but they've got that like old carpet smell.
At the SeaWorld in Orlando, before they built Antarctica and all that, they had a penguin exhibit presented by Southwest Airlines, and it reeked of 1988. Like it was just tile everywhere, and it was just a straight like box that you're looking in, and it had that old carpet smell, like you said.
Yeah, this is a roller coaster called the Electric Eel. I went on it once. It's pretty scary because you get up here and it goes really slowly, and it does like this 360 rotation at the top there, and you feel like you're just gonna fall right out of your seat. I haven't been on it again since then. Obviously, it's not running right now.
Too scary, or just because life?
Yeah, it wasn't really my thing.
Okay. Gwen wants to know does this mean that the San Diego Zoo has reopened as well?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head, but if zoos are allowed to reopen now, I guess the answer is maybe.
I'm looking right now.
Okay.
According to the official site, it says, "Welcome back. We are reopened."
Okay, there you go.
January 30th, it reopened.
We're definitely going to get copyright flagged for this Madonna.
Yep. I was just thinking of that. I was like, when I think of aquatic sea life, I think of Madonna from 1999. Lori Jean also wants to point out that Six Flags Discovery Kingdom up north of you right now is open with animals.
Cool.
Some life coming back to California parks in some way, right?
Yeah, I was at Downtown Disney and Disney California Adventure yesterday, and it really felt a lot more active, and in a way that I didn't feel like I was in danger of catching COVID or anything like it. They do a really good job at Disneyland Resort of keeping people distanced and enforcing the masks and stuff. So I felt safe there, and it was a good day. It was like a fun day. There was a lot of new stuff to look at.
And interestingly, and we talked about this a little bit on the stream yesterday, or you and Doobie did. It was a new offering there that wasn't dining or retail.
Yeah, the WandaVision photo op. Is that what you're referring to?
Yep.
Yeah. So you can check that out now if you're a Legacy Pass holder. What's that?
That's their Atlantis ride, right?
Yeah, so this is Atlantis here. I think I've been on this exactly once too. Not because I was scared by it, but I feel like every other time I've been here, it was closed, even before the pandemic. It was just like the off season or whatever, and it was always closed. But I do like this ride. It was fun. It has like an elevator element in it, which is crazy.
I'm gonna have to watch a video of that one, because the one I was thinking that San Diego had, I guess, is the one in Texas, where it's just kind of like an up, down, and around idea.
Yeah.
The one in Orlando is more like I use the term loosely, Splash Mountain-esque dark ride, log flume kind of thing.
Yeah. Have you been to Knott's Berry Farm, Tony?
Only for Not Scary Farm last year. I haven't done like all the rides there.
You haven't been on the log flume there?
Not since probably 1991.
Okay. I love that ride. And it's very like clearly the ride that inspired Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
There's actually a picture of Tony Baxter like attending the grand opening of that ride at Knott's Berry Farm.
I haven't seen that picture, but I imagine he's got a little notebook out.
Well, you could tell in the photo. It's in a book called Knott's Preserved, which is the whole history of the park. Okay. And in the photo, you could see Tony Baxter like examining the like lift hill to like see how it works. It's pretty crazy how you can tell like he's so inquisitive about theme parks, and he's just like a teenager at that point. But he wrote the introduction to that book.
Nice. I think that's in my Amazon wish list, if I'm being honest. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good book. They
have a wild Arctic there too. Okay.
This is my favorite exhibit in the park. Unfortunately, it's closed right now because it's inside. But the Wild Arctic exhibit, the theming inside here is great because it's themed to obviously like an Arctic exploration base or whatever. But then they have the wreck of this ship called the Erebus, which is a famous like lost British exploration sailing ship that got lost in the Arctic. But they've like recreated the whole, like the wrecked hull of the ship inside there. It's really neat.
So I wonder, because that in Orlando we have the same thing, or the same title anyway. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but you have to take the flight simulator to get there.
Yeah.
And then you disembark, and it's a ship, like a turned over ship that you kind of walk through.
Yep. Yeah.
But I don't know if that was the name of it. I'll have to look next time.
Yeah. Here's some of the floats from the Sesame Street
Nice.
experience.
And those are more scattered throughout, aren't they, for the drive-through?
Yeah, I think these are not where they are during the drive-through. I think they've just kind of put them here while the park is open, and then they'll move them back at nighttime for the drive-through experience.
Probably just easier to keep them there and move them that way.
Yeah. This is the penguin encounter, another exhibit that we can't go in, but it is cool. It's like a moving walkway you stand on, and you see all the penguins in their like icy habitat, and they have some water for them to swim in and stuff.
So that still has that 80s vibe you were talking about, just in my opinion, right there, based on like the tile work and everything.
Right, yeah. Here's a penguin photo op.
I expect to see that photo later today of you hatching out of the egg.
We have done that.
Okay.
Before. Oh, this is new. This is they put in some like partitions here to keep people separated. This was not here last time we were at the park.
Oh, nice. So you can view and keep socially distant?
Yeah, so this all used to be just open railing here up until now.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah, there are penguins swimming around in there. I think that's our pal Chris Glass over there.
Tammy said back in the 90s they had her high school dance at the SeaWorld Pavilion, and they did a fireworks show. That's cool. That's what I miss about, like, not that San Diego is a smaller, like, small town or anything like that, but I like the local parks. I miss that kind of idea of, like, high schools we would go here. And that,
right.
Like, oh, there's a lot of them. I'm assuming it's not very cold out there.
It is warm today. It's nice today. It's sunny out. So that's kind of a nice little outdoor place to see some penguins.
Does it say what kind of penguins those were?
What kind of penguins are those, you know? Oh, yes, it does. Magellanic penguin.
Okay. I might have somebody watching right now who would be curious to know what kind of penguin.
Okay.
And I look over my shoulder and she's just nodding.
And there's a Sesame Street photo op here for the kids.
I don't think is this a section of the park or just San Diego? Always so beautiful in San Diego. Be sure to stop in Little Italy for good eats.
Okay.
That's what Gwen said. There's another copyright strike, I'm sure.
Right.
Opening riff.
I appreciate the food recommendations, but I have a very limited diet, so sadly I can't take it, unfortunately.
I just want to watch a 90s teen comedy now. Nautilus, what is this?
This is a theater. It's an
Okay.
amphitheater. So they do have a show happening today here called SeaWorld Rescue Tales. Looks like it's every couple hours.
Interesting. Have you seen that before?
I haven't seen that one, no.
Okay. I'm wondering,
We might check that out.
here in Orlando, I'm going to keep comparing it because that's what I know in terms of SeaWorld. We have one called Pets Ahoy, and it's all rescued domestic pets and like doing tricks and stuff. I don't know if those rescue animals or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I know Busch Gardens used to have it too. I don't think they do anymore. Goodness. Somebody never let go of the volume knob on those speakers.
Here is a curl-crested aracari. I don't see him, actually. I don't see anything in there.
Two no-shows and one sick triceratops.
You are planning to have dinosaurs on this.
That's how I feel when I go to like SeaWorld Busch Gardens. Animal Kingdom sometimes. Not every time, but certain days I get there. I'm like, where is everything?
Right.
That sounds good.
Calypso Smokehouse. I've been watching a lot of dinosaurs on Disney Plus since they put that up there, and I've been thinking about that period in like the late 80s and the early 90s where everything was about dinosaurs, and trying to remember like why, like what was the fascination in that moment, that cultural moment where everything was dinosaurs.
Well, the big one, but that came later in '93, was Jurassic Park, because that was just
right, and that
huge.
That wasn't even the start of it though, because
No,
before that was like Land Before Time.
Yep.
Dinosaurs, the show that I was talking about. Then there was like We're Back, a dinosaur story. Was that after?
I think that was after Jurassic Park.
That was after Jurassic Park.
But it was animated, so it was probably in production beforehand. Yeah, because it was the '93 parade. Every year on my Facebook, on my personal Facebook page, I show a video on Thanksgiving of the Rex balloon popping from the Macy's parade from We're Back, because its head it gets annihilated by a street lamp. And I just, happy Thanksgiving. And I've had that as a tradition for 10 years, but I remember it's from the '93 parade. So I think it came out after Jurassic Park, but like that same year.
Okay.
So it would have had to have been production at that point then, since '93, '89 maybe.
Sure. And then I was a big fan of Calvin and Hobbes. That had a lot of dinosaur stuff in it.
Yeah.
This is Turtle Reef, another indoor exhibit where we can't go inside. It is blocked off. It's kind of like getting a tour of a theme park while it's under construction and nothing's open yet or something, you know?
So, which gets the question, is admission still the same price?
Well, we have the fun pass.
Okay.
So we didn't pay to get in today. I mean, we paid. Laughing Place bought me the fun pass. It's like a year long. It's basically an annual pass, but with limited. You know, you have to reserve your spot ahead of time and stuff, which is probably how annual passes are going to work from now on.
That's how,
Anyway, but
that's how they are here. That's how they are everywhere now.
As to how much a regular day's admission costs, I'm not sure right now. I'm dangerously uninformed. Here's the dolphin amphitheater.
Oh wow! So again, cultural differences. Orlando, our dolphin theater's covered, so I couldn't imagine just sitting in the sun for half hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's awful. In fact, I'm wearing a big floppy hat that I got to wear to theme parks because we were going to SeaWorld a bunch and nothing has any shade. None of the shows have any shade. It's terrible. I was getting terrible sunburn because I would refuse to put on sunblock, which is my own fault. But
well, the first step to realizing the problem is knowing what the problem is.
Yeah.
No, but that's ridiculous. Especially because those shows aren't short. They're not quick by any means.
Exactly. Yeah, you're sitting out there for 30 to 45 minutes. Here's another exhibit we can't go in, the Shark Encounter, which is a cool one. It's the you're standing on like a moving walkway and you go through underwater
It's
tunnel.
like the tunnels, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I love those.
it's cool. It's a neat one. And I always want to. I'm always tempted to scream out, "It's coming through the glass," you know, like Jaws 3D.
Yep. I'm just picturing that effect now in that movie. It's the floating shark.
Right.
And I don't mean like underwater floating. Like, I mean...
Yes, that movie was not meant to be watched in any other format besides 3D.
I think of that every time I'm at the SeaWorld here because it was filmed partially here.
I like how they have the plush sharks oriented like the Jaws poster.
Just need the red and white sign above it, and it's just plush in the same font.
Here's like a spinner type attraction that is also not open. It's called Riptide Rescue.
Okay. All right. As you get closer, I see the theming. I'm like, that's grossly like plain. I wish our SeaWorld had more flat rides. We only have like big stuff.
Yeah.
A couple of coasters, and all the flat rides are in Sesame Street Land.
And this is called Mission Bay here next to SeaWorld San Diego. It's very nice looking. Very picturesque. As we get a little further, we'll see there's a Skyway type ride that you can ride over the bay and look out over the vistas there.
Very nice. How big is SeaWorld San Diego? It seems pretty large.
Yeah, it's a nice sized park. It's got a lot of nice open walkways here.
That kid just startled me jumping out of the photo booth. Yeah, if it took you, what you said, 20 to 30 minutes to drive through it for the Sesame Street
experience. I mean, we weren't going fast, but they had mapped out a very nice, lengthy, winding path through the park to drive your car through. It's just such a unique thing because I can't imagine driving my own personal car through like Disneyland. It would be so strange. Plus, I don't think the paths are wide enough to accommodate something like that.
I'm picturing that left turn into Adventureland and then that like left to go past the Tiki Room. I think a car would have a very hard time maneuvering that.
Yeah.
And then when you got up to Pirates, I'm just picturing a car driving through Disneyland. Obviously, there are service cars, but
yeah. DCA maybe. I think maybe the paths are in general a bit wider there because it was built so many years later.
Hello, Polly.
Polly Walker. That doesn't sound like a real name. I apologize if it is your real name. This is the Sea Lion and Otter Amphitheater where they do Sea Lions
Live. I'm assuming it's a parody of SNL.
Yes. And we saw this in the fall, and my recollection of it right now is that a lot of the jokes are very dated. Like, they were written probably around the turn of the century, like late 90s, probably.
We recently got a new we had a pirate themed Sea Lion show, which was basically 2003 up till 2015 with the 2003 jokes. So I'm assuming it's the same problem with that one.
Yeah. So this is the Mission Bay Theater here, and I remember coming here probably 12 years ago or more, and they had this thing called the Haunted Lighthouse, I think. And it was a 3D show directed by Joe Dante, who directed the movie Gremlins and a bunch of other great movies like The Burbs.
Wasn't R.L. Stine involved with that too, of Goosebumps?
I believe you're right. Yes, I think it was called R.L. Stine's Haunted Lighthouse, and it had like Christopher Lloyd It had some good star power going, but that has long since disappeared. The last thing we saw in this theater was like a fake Cirque du Soleil type show. It was like, I think 2 Christmases ago.
We had one out here called Allure, the Call of the Ocean, and it was I called it Cirque du Soleil because it was like a cheap ripoff.
Yep, that sounds precisely like what we saw here. Yeah, we're about the halfway point in the back side of the park.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a pretty nice size.
I know SeaWorld or Busch Gardens are all the same company. Busch Gardens did a 4D show, which I'm assuming was kind of like Haunted Lighthouse, but it was themed to pirates, and it had Eric Idle in it. I wonder if he would have any memory of doing that.
It certainly does not seem like he would. Oh, we're coming up on the Flamingos. You might be able to hear them.
I could hear them, yeah.
It's a whole gaggle of flamingos. What's a group of flamingos called?
What's a group of flamingos called? I was just told it's something weird, and that was an authoritative source from the village of Harambe. A flamboyance. It's called a flamboyance of flamingos. I don't know if you can hear me over them.
I can kind of hear you.
Okay.
Flamboyance of flamingos. In there with the flamingos are some ducks, and it looks like an egret or two.
Did you scare them away? Because they were all up closer to the camera. And
I was yelling.
Okay. That's a very big flamingo pool.
Yeah.
Not that that's a problem by any means.
Whoa. I almost tripped over the curb. I think they think I'm going to feed them because you can buy flamingo chow or whatever it's called.
I was just jokingly going to say chow. I'm so glad you said it. And that's a lot of pink flamingos, so they must be eating a lot of shrimp to get that pink color.
I guess so. Or they're dyeing them.
Kidder96 wants to say she's been to SeaWorld in San Diego and in Orlando, but has never been inside those parks. Oh, I've seen SeaWorld in San Diego and Orlando. Oh, probably the tower in the distance, but she's never been in the park.
So she saw the exterior of the park, but never went inside. I find SeaWorld
but not Tampa.
What's that?
And she's also been to Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, but not the one in Tampa.
Oh boy, I haven't been to Busch Gardens since I was a kid. Have you been there recently?
Tampa, yes, but not. I've never been to Virginia.
My memory of it, I think I remember not being crazy about it as a kid. Like it was mostly stuff that older kids and adults would enjoy.
As a little kid, I would agree with that. As an older adult who can no longer enjoy such high-speed, high-octane thrill rides, I find myself also again limited.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's mostly just.
I'm also getting to the point where the more intense roller coasters, I'm kind of shying away from.
Like I'm very intrigued by the one you're under right now.
Yeah, this one's a good one. It's kind of like a. What would I compare it to? It's kind of like a Slinky Dog Dash almost.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more intense than Slinky Dog Dash.
So SeaWorld and Busch Gardens always kind of order the same coasters for all of their parks. And I'm looking at it, and it looks like Cheetah Hunt in Busch Gardens, Tampa, to give it something to compare to.
Yeah, this one's called Manta.
Okay. But it looks like it's just a launch coaster.
Yeah, it is. I think I have a video of this on the Laughing Place YouTube when they did the they did like a Christmas overlay, but there's only like one part, very short part of the ride that's like inside, and that was the only part that had anything to do with Christmas. And they just played like a Christmas song, and there were some projection effects and stuff. But the rest of the ride was exactly the same as you would ride at any other time of the year.
Our Manta at SeaWorld here is a flying coaster where you like hit the track and you're like laying down like Superman.
Oh yeah, those are scary.
I used to love it, but again, now I can't do it.
There's one of those here at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called, but when I went on that, again, I only ever went on it once. I was so terrified.
I see. It's just a video of highlights from SeaWorld from us on YouTube.
Okay.
I was gonna try and be proactive and put a link out to anybody who wants to watch our POV of at Manta.
Yeah, it might have been in my other job. Sorry, my previous job. Sometimes I get them confused.
Mike never left the other place. Double agent.
So this is where you would go in to go on the Sky Ride, which is weird. It used to be included in the park admission, and now they charge $6 on top of the admission to go on the Sky Ride. You can see the bucket. There's a bucket right here with the Orca painted on the side. It looks like it's been like grown over, like a hurricane came through, because it's been so long since it's been opened up.
Yeah. What is up, Nathan?
Hey, Nathan.
Yep.
He's going to say hi to Doobie and Gideon now.
Correct. Exactly. In order. Gideon, Jeremiah, and then there you are, Mike C. I don't think Nathan knows who I am yet, though.
So I'm not making fun of you, Nathan. I appreciate being greeted. But I do think it was it's funny that you have you have an established pattern of saying hi to everybody, even if they're not here.
Gene, is this place still open? The outside is, right, Mike?
Yeah, so SeaWorld San Diego just reopened today. It's only available, only the outdoor exhibits are available. None of the indoor exhibits or any of the rides are open. So you can come and walk around outside, and you can watch the shows outside, but that's about it. But they do have this cool area called the Waterfront that we're entering into right now. It's a beer garden and bay view, which it's neat because you can get a beverage here at one of these stands, and then you can sit at one of these seats and look out over Mission Bay. And here's you can see the Sky Ride towers going out over the bay.
I like that. It's like a little quiet, grassy area.
Yeah.
In like a bustling park.
We always hang out here for a little bit whenever we come down.
Are those like boats just over across the water?
Say it again. Sorry.
Those look like, are those boats across the water? What is that?
Yeah. There's a whole like marina here. And then this outdoor
is that part of the park?
I don't think so. The boats are just docked there. They're just personal boats, I think. But this outdoor theater used to be home to another like Cirque du Soleil. I think that was actually a Cirque du Soleil show. Maybe 5 to 10 years ago. I could be wrong about that. When you go on the Sky Ride, it just goes along the bay here, and you get to the next station right over there, and it turns you around, and you just come right back and get off in the same place.
So with that marina back there, did you ever play Roller Coaster Tycoon?
I love Roller Coaster Tycoon. Okay. Yeah.
So remember when you could only buy like certain stretches of land?
Yes.
I figured that's how SeaWorld did it. They bought that one little strip and was like, let's put a Sky Ride here.
Exactly. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. And then you could charge people to use the restroom.
Yep. Austin T. Patry wants to know why SeaWorld gets to open but not Disneyland. That's because SeaWorld is operating right now as a zoo, not as a theme park. Is that correct?
That is correct. I think if Disneyland could theoretically, I guess there are ducks there and feral cats, but if they had more like wild animal exhibits, they could reopen as a zoo as well.
So basically, if they had Disney's Animal Kingdom out there, that could probably open at least partially.
Oh, I bet it could. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because that is an accredited zoo.
Exactly. I don't know if you can see. There's a couple people like wakeboarding over here. I'm like as far away from the park as we can get.
Literally, this is the last corner.
Yeah. But it's nice here. Oh boy.
Yeah, it is. And windy too.
I'm suffering from convention withdrawal, I guess is the word.
Okay.
And every time I'm down in San Diego, I think about San Diego Comic-Con, which hasn't happened now for a year and a half. But I miss coming down to San Diego for Comic-Con. I hope it happens this year, but it doesn't seem.
It would be
likely.
In July, right?
Yeah, it's like mid-July, I guess, or late July usually. It's not far from here.
So again, I'm going to compare it. Sorry. Orlando, our waterfront titled area is on the water. There's a lake in the middle of the park. And it's a lot more like hustle and bustle. There's shops and restaurants. And that's where like one of the amphitheaters is right off of it. But I like this waterfront because it's literally just benches and some grass and the water.
Yeah, it's very like calming. It's a good
you forget that you're in a park
for a break. Yeah, you got like a nice rest area. All right, now we're gonna go back to theme park proper here.
I don't know. Can we call it that? Sorry, zoo.
To the zoo.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the SeaWorld Zoo. I love how like SeaWorld and the others. That is loud.
Yeah, sorry. You love how SeaWorld what?
And some of the others are just like, how can we open? Let's do what we can to figure out how to open. To an extent, California Adventure did it with the shops and restaurants. SeaWorld's now like, well, actually, we're a zoo, so let's open as a zoo. Legoland is opening on the 12th, part of it, I should say. Their hotel, the Castle Hotel, and the miniature city area.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Along with it, only if you're staying at the hotel, though.
Interesting. I was not aware of that
earlier today.
I think the winner of all those, of the ones that I've been to, is Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
When all the stuff that they did over the summer last year and in the fall for the holiday season, both Halloween and Christmas, was so impressive. Both with the decorations and the character stuff. You know, they had characters like up on the balconies in Ghost Town and stuff. It was so great. I'm so impressed, and I can't wait for them to start doing stuff again this year.
My other half and I were actually insanely jealous of when we watched the live stream that you and Benji did of Knott's Berry Farm with Charles Dickens and Ebenezer Scrooge and all those characters.
Yeah, that was so great. I'm a fan of the Christmas Carol, so it was such a neat idea.
Is this this isn't that same penguin exhibit, is it? No, it's not.
No, this is what are these, sea lions?
What?
No, well, turtle. Sorry, you shot me down
aggressively. What? No.
What kind of turtles we're looking at? Sea turtle.
Yeah, I think it looks like some green and maybe some hawksbill, but I'm not sure.
My wife's a real turtle expert.
I do love them.
I was about to say, I'm assuming it's your wife. You just didn't walk up to a stranger and go, "What is?"
No, I did not just accost a stranger about.
Inside of their safety booth.
Yeah. Tell me what kind of turtles these are.
It's Laughing Place version of Billy on the Streets. Mike C at SeaWorld. What kind of turtles? For $1.
For $1.
What this turtle is.
So the Rapids Ride track is right there.
Okay.
It doesn't have any water in it right now, but it goes right past the turtle tank. So you could theoretically look through the glass here or the plastic at the turtles as you go through. It's called Shipwreck Rapids, right? Yeah.
I feel like you go by so quickly you wouldn't even notice you were by the turtle exhibit.
I think I remember being on it and being like, whoa, I'm going to look for the turtles when we go past, and then I didn't even notice them. Yeah.
I know we have Aquatica out here. I think SeaWorld San Diego is getting one or was supposed to get one, but it's their water park, the SeaWorld water park, and there's a slide, and they hyped it so big before the park opened. You're gonna float through a tank with Commerson's dolphins, and you're in that part of the slide for 0.75 seconds. And you have no idea what's going on. It just gets real bright for a second, and then you splash down.
I do like the theming of this area as well. I think it's called Shipwreck Reef, this whole area. Oh, there's a show happening. Some kind of... I see there. So this is the tide pool. Oh, they're doing a touch tank here as well.
Okay.
I think I went in the entrance, but this lady's coming up the entrance. Let's see what's happening in here.
I like that sign. Tide pool and aquaria. I don't know if I pointed this one out. Giselle says she's been to SeaWorld a ton of times and can't wait to go again.
Oh yeah, well you can come now. You just can't get the full experience quite yet.
They will suck up that sand and remove any kind of detritus, which is kind of dead organic material, and then filter the sand out the back.
Do we see what kind of animals these are?
Well, my newcomers, welcome. My name is Thomas. I'm here to SeaWorld's Education and Conservation.
Oh, these are like, it's like sea urchins.
Brief safety info. Make sure if you're leaning on the wall, you're staying flat on your belly. We don't want you to fall. The water is quite chilly.
Is this Poker's Cove?
Just gently touch the top. Please leave.
Is it what?
Poker's Cove from Finding Dory?
Something in touch.
Oh.
There is a bat ray over
I forgot about that, yeah.
Sorry, not bat ray. My bad, bat star. One of our resident bat stars. They are the star. One of the main.
Because Poker's Cove was basically urchins and
right.
Sea stars.
Yeah, I see some sea urchins and snails and stuff.
Walking around, and it helps them breathe.
What's
they got a nice little water feature over here.
It's very quaint. Are there sea stars in that pool too? You can't see me pointing at the screen.
Oh, you mean by the waterfall?
Yeah, it looked like there was. I saw something like a little orange next to it. If not, it was a turn-off valve.
Oh yeah, I do see one. Look, like right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of them actually.
That's cool.
They probably come over here to escape the kids.
Poker's Cove.
I've only seen Finding Dory the once, so. Oh, you know what? I think I saw it twice, actually. That was a lie.
Rudy have the San Diego Zoo and Wild Animal Park been operating as well? We actually looked this up because somebody asked the same question earlier in the stream. They have been open since January 30th. What's that Bayside building back there?
And then that's that Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, that's right. You said the Bayside Theater. That's right.
Cirque Electrique, they called it. Maybe
are those coaster tracks?
So this is another little, it's almost kind of a, I don't know what I would call it, but it's like a very short little track. It's called the Tidal Twister. I'm not sure what kind of roller coaster this is called, but it's just like one cycle, one little short loop.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. You can't really see it that well. And I'm sure it just goes around that same loop over and over again.
Yeah, I'm picturing it's like one of those like carny rides where it's just a big circle, like the big loop, and it just spins.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah. Exactly. Like almost kind of a Music Express, but with a with like a double helix kind of a thing.
Music, of course, being spelled with a K.
There you go. That's a better view.
So this SeaWorld has the electric eel coaster we saw, the manta coaster.
Uh-huh.
That one, if we want to count it. I knew there was another one that was supposed to be like a lifeguard rescue. Is that what I'm thinking? Or is that Texas? I don't remember.
Doesn't ring any bells to me.
It's probably Texas then.
Here's the entrance to Shipwrecked Rapids. I like this ride, but it's very short.
I like that sign.
Yeah.
It's a shipwreck, so the bed sheet with red paint on it is theming.
Exactly.
But it works.
The theming reminds me a bit of Castaway Cay.
Okay. Now that you pointed that out, that's all I'm going to see now. But yes.
Which I had not been to until this past year.
Because you
we
did
were
the...
like, yeah, we did like one of the last ever Disney cruises. So.
Was it the Star Wars one or the Marvel one?
Star Wars Day at Sea.
Star
Yeah.
Wars, okay.
Did you have
I had
to ask
assumed.
them?
I know. I had assumed, but I just wanted to be safe. Oh, there's the Castaway Cay soundtrack.
Yep.
I feel like this park has a lot of nooks and crannies.
It does. In fact, I'm wandering too far into one of the nooks. I'm going to go back out to the main path.
Was that just seating?
Yeah, this is just seating for the restaurant.
Okay.
Go back out this way. The steel drum music is very loud here too.
I suddenly want a tropical drink, but I'm still working for a few hours.
Yeah, so this Rapids ride goes through a literal hull of this fake ship.
That's cool.
So this is the lift hill at the end of the ride. You go back up and then you disembark over there after you've come through the hull of the ship here.
Do you know how old that water ride is?
It's more than, I want to say it was built in the 90s, if I had to guess.
I feel like you could usually tell the older raft rides because they have the lift at the end.
Right. Yeah, there's something about a lift at the end of a ride that's always like anticlimactic.
Yeah. Like, oh, we're unloading now. Okay.
And we got a nice waterfall over here.
Is that what the ship ran into? Or did that grow around the ship?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a second.
Those waterfalls just drown us out, don't they?
Yeah.
I was going to say, did the ship run into the waterfall, or did the waterfall grow around the ship?
Right. Yeah, that part doesn't quite make sense. How long has this boat been here? That like geologic formations have come up around it.
Rudy wants to say that it
get
opened in 99 or 2000.
There you go. So I was right on target there. It's about a little over 20 years old. There's a restaurant in here called the Shipwreck Cafe. Shipwreck Reef Cafe. And then there's a map of Shipwreck Isle here on the rocks.
Is there a treehouse near you, or are those just drums?
A treehouse?
Yeah, just because the drums reminded me of Adventureland.
Gotcha.
Bad joke. See, I feel like this SeaWorld is also like ours here, where they've only recently started getting into like the themed areas. So you'll walk from one themed area to like this generic, here's some stuff buildings.
Right. So if we were to keep going this way, this is the entrance to the Orca Encounter Amphitheater over there.
Okay. Are there any like exterior viewing areas?
Yeah, I'm gonna go by where you can go down. You can go down from steps and stand next to the Orca tank.
Cool.
We got a great moment with that in one of the previous streams from here. We got like up close and personal with the Orca, so we'll see if that can happen again. But we may have to settle for the eel this time.
Which was right at the beginning. So everybody who tuned in late, feel free to go watch the replay and see an eel that just was very curious as to what Mike was doing. You also saw that large flamboyance as well of flamingos.
Right.
Wake up and need to make money at SeaWorld. I just think it's funny because like it could just be a local radio station they have playing.
Yeah, it's just like top 40.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are these songs in the top 40? I'm not even sure.
Maybe 5 years ago. Okay. I don't know about now. I'll watch Jimmy Kimmel Live, and they're like, with musical guest, Scream Shank, or somebody I've never heard of. And I'm, what? Oh, yeah. Who are these people?
Well, yeah, we watch Saturday Night Live every week, and it's always like, if we know who the musical guest is, it's a miracle.
I'll usually know who the host is, usually.
Yes,
and then the musical guest, I'm always like, I'm old. I have no idea who that is anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, every once in a while, the host will mystify us as well, but... the musical guest is usually a new experience for us.
I know they announced it. I don't know if they ever went through with it. Did they ever like build like the giant Orca tank where they weren't going to do the shows, and it was just going to be a natural like habitat for them?
So I hate saying this, but I feel like that was kind of a dodge. Like, they still do Orca shows. Like, okay. I think it's a little different because like the trainers aren't like riding on the orcas and stuff like they used to do. But the orcas are still like swimming around the tanks and splashing people and jumping and stuff. So I don't think much has changed in that way. But I think this is supposed to be the refurb that they were doing. Unless I'm totally wrong about that and it's still coming.
I know it was announced a few years ago, and it was supposed to look like a natural, like Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I mean, the backdrop does anyway. I don't even know if the animals can even see that. It's mostly for the humans.
This will appease those people.
And we won't be able to see it from this side because you have to be sitting in there to see what you're talking about. But
oh, free now. Oh, wow. Get that, sort of. Get that. Oh, that's fantastic. Well done. No, seriously, well done. So folks, here, have fun when you're taking your photos. And again, at SeaWorld, angle, and then don't stay in the landscaping. Go horizontal. Excuse me, portrait. Come on down, man. Man, he can squeeze right in there. Right there. Get up close. Don't let him hit. Don't get, I wanted to get the good side.
I don't see any of the whales right now.
I don't see anything either, except for a mark on the tank.
Oh, this is perfect.
Oh, there we go.
Folks, you've taken a lot of photos. If you'd like suggestions, I used to be a photographer. Stop by, I'll give you suggestions on. Are you ready? If you like your photos so much, you might want to consider getting them professionally matted and framed. May I tell you why, man?
Is this guy just peddling photos, or is it actually talking about the animals?
You get to be my age, and you will be there. The photo brings back the memory. So when you have a really cool photo like this, if you want to stop by, you want to go with non-glare glass, double mat, and a memory frame, and you'll have a great memory. Just a suggestion. Also, these could be your Christmas card photos then. Yes, sir. The first show that's coming up here in just 1 minute is upstairs. Walk the ramp, turn right immediately.
Oh, it was there. Now I don't see it anymore.
It sounds like they're getting ready for the show, according to that guy, anyway.
Thank you for keeping both hands on the stroller.
There's one right here. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. How you doing? Are you happy? Are you having fun? I see you got your Adidas pants and your Adidas shoes on, right on there. Is your last name
What's
Adidas?
this guy talking about?
That's what it's
Tell me about the Orca, not what that kid is wearing.
Oh, no. I was talking about after you take
Oh, hey, I found one here.
Yay!
They can also swim through the gravel.
Yes. There's that Jaws poster again.
You're right. There was a movie that came out after Jaws in the wake of the success of that film called Orca.
Yep. I brought that up with Doobie once on a Universal live stream. And yeah, and he said, you're probably the only person who's ever seen it. And I said, if you knew what I was talking about, because I was kind of subtle about it, then that would make it 2. And so now, Mike, you knew about it, so that's 3.
Well, I haven't seen it, but I do know of its existence.
I was in college, and I think it was I Love the 80s or 70s was on, and they talked about it. I'm like, okay, we have to watch this movie. Don't waste your time. Just know it's just bad.
That's an interesting topic to explore, though. These movies that come out after a huge blockbuster movie, like Star Wars is a good example because there were all these like ripoffs, like B-movie Star Wars ripoffs that came out in the late 70s and early 80s. And then Jaws is another one where you had like Piranha.
Yep. Orca.
And then Indiana Jones had a bunch. Raiders of the Lost Ark had a bunch.
Mac and Me followed E.T.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
That was the first, when you said rip-off movie, that was the first one that came to mind.
Mac and Me being the one that I've probably seen the most.
You can't see me right now, but I'm doing the whistling thing with my hands.
All right, we're coming back around to the main entrance here. We'll go through the gift shop and see what they're selling. You can bring home your very own orca or sea turtle. This one is a puppet.
Nice. And he tells you that too.
Then you got pins, if you want to add to your pin collection. All the Sesame Street characters.
So I always think it's funny how pins took off, and I mean took off with Disney.
Yeah.
But none of the other ones really have that fan base. Like Universal, a little bit there, but nowhere near Disney. And then I'm honestly surprised that SeaWorld has that many on their shelf.
Yeah, it was a weird phenomenon.
Rudy brings up an interesting question. Is Free Willy the unofficial successor of Jaws that brought people back to aquatic exhibits?
Wow. You know, I just interviewed the producer of the Free Willy series about something else, but we did mention Free Willy for my podcast, so stay tuned.
You heard it here first. That Orca exhibit too. I wanted to bring this up. On the beams, it had like just random words and nouns and verbs. Create, discover. And it made me think coming up on Monday, we have the California Adventure festivities that we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of on Laughing Place. And I rewatched the opening ceremony for that today for something we're doing on Monday. And part of it is like 15 dancers carrying giant banners with like dream, golden, spirit. What is this?
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. I'm looking forward to our special edition of Parks Talk Live that will be happening, where we're all going to defend those rankings, I think. Sure, we might talk about theme park news, but we know what it'll become. Anything good? Anything catch your eye at the gift shop? I'm just seeing a lot of plush.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that kids would want to grab as like a last minute souvenir, and then some t-shirts. This says "What the shell," and this says "I'll just have a salad." And totally whaled it.
I mean, absolutely no disrespect when I ask this. Can you eat a salad?
Can I eat salad yet?
Yeah. Can you get that shirt so when Doobie talks about, try this for food or whatever, just point at the shirt.
If Laughing Place wants to buy me that shirt, I will happily wear it.
Okay.
It is $25.
Is somebody watching Harry Potter in the background really loud?
What's that?
Is somebody watching Harry Potter really loud in the background? That music sounds like.
I think we're good, right? I think we should.
Yeah, that is a full circle of that large park.
It is a big park. Yeah, it took us a full hour and change to get around the whole thing. So.
Yeah. And you didn't stop a lot either.
Right.
So. All right. Well, coming up later tonight, we have Disney Trivia Live with Doobie and Gideon celebrating Doobie's birthday today. Doobie being the founder of LaughingPlace.com, and he hosts weekly trivia. Actually, what is it? Not bi-weekly. What's it? Twice a week? Or is it twice?
I think twice a week is bi-weekly, and then every other week would be semi-weekly. So.
Okay. Yeah. But him and his son host Disney Trivia Live on our Laughing Place YouTube channel. Catch it tonight. They will be celebrating his birthday. Will you be there, Mike?
I will be there.
I will be there as well. Then on Monday, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of Disney California Adventure with all kinds of fun and activities on LaughingPlace.com and the Laughing Place YouTube channel.
And I will be at California
And
Adventure.
you will actually be at California Adventure that day because it's still open as an extension of the downtown Disney district on terms of Buena Vista Street and Hollywoodland, or parts of Hollywoodland.
Yes, indeed.
If you like these live streams, remember to like and subscribe, ring that bell. Mike, any last things from SeaWorld?
I just want to say thank you for celebrating the world of the sea.
We're glad to do it. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.